What if everything we thought was a pause was actually a master plan? What if the timing of 2025, 2026 was never random? Army, tonight, we're not talking about rumors or gossip. We are connecting timelines, we're analyzing statements, we're looking at patterns. And when you put all the pieces together, a much bigger, more strategic picture starts to form. Now, let me be clear. This is not confirmed news. This is a theory, a deep dive based entirely on public information. But by the end of this video, you might start to see their so-called hiatus in a completely different light. Let's rewind. When BTS announced their group paused to focus on solo activities, the world reacted with a tidal wave of emotion. Some fans feared the worst, that this was the beginning of the end. News outlets predicted a decline in their global influence. But if you look closely at their words, at the language they used during that historic announcement, you'll notice something crucial. They never said ending. They never said goodbye. Instead, they chose words like reset, recharge, and next chapter. That choice of language is incredibly important. Artists, especially at this level of global stardom, don't casually choose their words during career-defining announcements. They are intentionally framing the future for millions of people. Now, let's bring in a non-negotiable factor, mandatory military service in South Korea. It's a duty every able-bodied man must fulfill. Each member of BTS enlisted, but they did so at slightly different times. This is where the math comes in. Let's calculate carefully. Jin, the first to enlist, is already back. J-Hope is next. The discharge timelines for the remaining members RM, Suga, Jimin, V, and Jungkook point towards mid to late 2025. This means that 2026 becomes the first full calendar year where all 7 members are free, available, and could theoretically stand on a stage together again. That's not just a hopeful guess. That's simple arithmetic based on official enlistment dates and service durations. The timing isn't a coincidence. It's a consequence of a carefully managed schedule. During this period, what have we seen? An explosion of individual creativity. Every single member has released their own solo projects. RM gave us his introspective lyricism. Jin gifted us with his powerful vocals. Suga unleashed his raw, sharp-edged artistry. J-Hope brought his signature sunshine and incredible dance skills. Jimin showcased his fluid, artistic grace. V delivered his soulful, jazzy baritone. And Jungkook proved why he's the golden maknae, exploring multiple genres. Each project was distinct. Different styles, different sounds, different visual identities. Why would they do this? Think about it, strategically. When they return as a group, they won't just be one sound. They will return as 7 fully developed, individually defined artists, each bringing a richer, more mature perspective to the table. The solo era might not be about separation at all. It might be about expansion. And in the world of music and art, expansion increases power, versatility, and creative depth. Let's go back to their language again. Across countless interviews, live streams, and documentaries during this solo period, the members have repeatedly used phrases like, "when we reunite," or "next time we stand on stage together as 7, or we'll show you something even better." Notice a pattern. They never, ever say if. They always, consistently, say when. That's not just wishful thinking. That language reveals a deep-seated confidence. It speaks to a plan that is already in motion, a future that they see as a certainty. It's the language of people who know exactly where they're going, even if the rest of the world is still catching up. So, let's paint a picture. Imagine this scenario playing out. It's late 2025 or early 2026. A single, cryptic teaser drops on social media. No words, just a symbol or a sound. The internet goes into a complete meltdown. Streaming platforms crash under the sheer volume of traffic. Global headlines in every major language trend for days. Then a stadium tour is announced, not just any tour, but the biggest one the world has ever seen. The level of anticipation alone, built up over years of waiting, could break every record in the book before a single note is even played. And here's the cold, hard strategy part of it. It's a fundamental principle of marketing and human psychology. Absence increases demand. When something you love and value disappears temporarily, its return doesn't just feel good. It becomes a monumental event. By stepping back at the very height of their fame, they created a vacuum. A global conversation, a longing for their return that has only grown stronger with each passing day. This isn't a sign of weakness. It's one of the most powerful strategic moves a group could make. It ensures that their comeback won't just be another album cycle. It will be a cultural phenomenon. But beyond all the strategy, timelines, and business acumen, there's something far more powerful at play. Their brotherhood. For over a decade, these 7 men built something from the ground up together. They shared a tiny dorm. They shared hardships we can only imagine. They shared the dizzying heights of global success. That kind of bond, forged in pressure and perseverance, doesn't just fade away because of a few years of military service. It doesn't fracture. It matures. It deepens. They've always said they are a family. And this time apart may be the very thing that strengthens that family for its next, most important chapter. So, what if 2026 isn't just a comeback? What if it's a redefinition of what a pop group can be? Think of their career in chapters. Chapter 1 was their rise, their fight for recognition. Chapter 2 was global domination, breaking barriers and making history. What if we are on the cusp of Chapter 3? Cementing their legacy. An era where 7 mature solo-proven artists reunite with more power, more experience, and a story to tell that is bigger than ever before. The timing of their the consistent, confident language they use. The strategic expansion of their individual artistry. It all aligns. It all points to a meticulously planned, long-term vision. Again, this is a theory. Nothing is confirmed until they announce it themselves. But when you look at all the evidence, logically, the period of 2025 to 2026 feels less like a random date and more like a deliberate, intentional destination. So I have to ask you, Army, what do you think? Do you believe the biggest, most legendary era of BTS is still ahead of us? Or do you think their peak has already been reached? I want to hear your theories, your thoughts, your hopes. Comment down below and let's discuss. Because no matter what happens, one thing is absolutely certain. The story of BTS is far from over. It's just building to its next great climax. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives like this.